maybe Ikenna will try to tell us if their needs have been responded to. Yeah. Have you used the help desk in the course of having to clear your cargo? Have you made a call through to the customs service through the numbers they've provided, and how well have they responded?
No, to be quite fair to the customs service, the help desk are very responsive, and their response time is very, very short. So they respond quickly. You make your complaint and they tell you to get back to you, and they do get back and attend to it. One area of challenge, though, is the issue of amendment of power. If the power is issued and there are errors in it, the area officers ask you to go for corrections, which is the right thing. Now, for what to find out the correction process, you go to the help desk and you tell them it's a hybrid. Both the help desk is involved, but the area officers are also involved, especially the technical supervisor, in having to get the amendment done. So there have been some complaints of some delays in that regard, and I think the customs service is looking at ways to reduce the delays in amendment of powers to correct any errors in them. One other major issue is that sometimes the server breaks down. But I mean, that's not something that is only with this customs service. It happens with road safety, it happens with immigration. But considering that this is something that is a daily process, custom clearance of cargo, we think some steps have to be taken to try to make sure that there is less breakdown of the customs server, because it's a central server at the custom headquarters.
Okay. All right. Let's get back to Wale. I just want to ask you, still talking about PAR, since introduction of the pre-arrival assessment report, what is its advantage over the former arrangement of risk assessment reports?
Bolaji, I'm sorry, I didn't quite get the question.
Okay. What advantage does the pre-arrival assessment report, that's PAR, what advantage does it have over the former arrangement of risk assessment reports?
Oh, okay. We could talk about a number of benefits. Well, let's recall that RA was issued by 3 different service providers. They came with 3 business three different business models, but of course the bottom line was that they wanted to make profits. The concepts that the customs put in place is not profit driven. It's all about rendering service, and to make sure that we have learned from whatever shortfalls the service providers brought to the table and improve on it. First, I talk about the risk management approach. Our platform is built on a collaboration between the customs and all the other agencies of governments who are partner agencies with us to help us build a robust risk platform that ensures that things that come into Nigerian territories are not those that will compromise our security. The second is about the process period, the process time for PAR. We're looking at the ease of doing business in Nigeria. We're looking at the turnaround period for businessmen and all of that. And we thought we could do this process faster and more effectively. It was taking them 6 business days to issue RA. Now we have taken it upon ourselves to issue PAR within 6 business hours, 6 days. And we're happy to report that the very first one that we issued, we actually issued it in less than a day. And we're trying to improve on this on a daily basis. So, and then the next thing is that people don't have to go back and forth from dealer bank to customs. Everything about PAR is automated. The form M that it uses to start off the process has now been automated. So we now have an E-form M, and from E-form M, the final documents are uploaded into the customs servers electronically. We process in the ruling center, and then we also issue and transmit the PAR electronically. So this is the third advantage over what they were doing. Everything that we were doing is also has become automated, and it has helped to ensure the efficiency and effectiveness of the new regime. We're also looking at revenue as well. within the first month that we took over, we were thinking that because of the number of the volume that came, that we were not able to treat so many at the same time. But when we looked at our revenue figure, the revenue in December showed that we actually performed better than we did in the preceding month. In November, we were able to generate just a little over 70 billion. But in December, our revenue shot up to 85 billion naira. So this is a remarkable increase within the short period that we have taken over. So all in all, we are looking at a faster regime of customs clearance. We are looking at a more effective regime, and of course, when an automation process is involved, we are looking at a more transparent processing to be brought into our system.
Okay, I'm going to stick with Wale. It seems to be that you didn't have challenges at all, or perhaps there are little challenges. Aren't there challenges?
We definitely had challenges. We had a lot of challenges. Of course, we cannot talk about rolling out a project of this magnitude without some implementation glitches here and there. The good thing about them was that we had anticipated that these were the kind of things that we were going to have, and we have taken measures to mitigate the effects of these challenges. I spoke about the sheer volume first, that we know we are going to be bombarded by so many phoneme applications. Before we took over, it was at 3 collection points. The service providers were 3 of them, and they were all collecting at different points. Now we have to, put every applications to one center, put to one center. That is Nigeria Customs Service Rolling Center. So the sheer volume of this definitely overwhelmed us. And in reacting to this was why we said, let there be a regime of pre-release, so that while we try to deal with the backlog, through that, we cannot begin to take fresh applications. And the result of the fresh applications were the ones I reported. We were dealing with them at a very fast rate. I have January figures, for example. On the average, we were taking about 907 applications by the first week of January. But this has now risen. By the time we deal with the final application, with the documents, and then gets the final document from the banks, we're now having 661 daily average, out of which about 503 of them gets treated by valuation and classification and all of that. So on the whole, we are now doing an average of about 500 per day. We recall that when service providers were in charge, they were issuing an average of between 700 and 800 per day, and this was 3 service providers put together. So I would say in terms of volume, our system is gradually coping. The other ones are those problems that we had anticipated. We talked about power situation. We had already dedicated adequate generators to take care of them. We talked about connectivity, how we are going to be transmitting final documents from dealer banks to Nigeria Customs Service, and when we generate the part to transmit them to the banks and to the importers. We had a robust internet process put in place, and we had a backup. So all these have been anticipated. The only major problem that I think we are still facing would be the issue of compliance. Compliance is still a very big issue, and what we are trying to do is to ensure that those who do well are adequately given the incentives to make them to continue to do well, so that when you give declarations and they are clean, there are no compromise, there are no mago-mago, pardon my words, then it means that it can be processed much earlier than we were doing before. So these are the major issues. We have the right platform in place, we have a good process in place, we have the right caliber of officers who are processing this. So when you have good people, good process, good platform, and then we have the right attitudinal change on the side of the stakeholders through compliance, then we can be sure that some of these challenges will be adequately faced and taken care of.